What's up guys, it's your boy Fusion aka the Indian Samurai, and before we get into today's video, which is a comparison between modern zombies and classic zombies, I just want to say thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, cause it really does light up my day. So you go guys, and I hope you guys have an amazing day or night or whenever you watch this, because I know I have, and I don't know what that meant. But anyway, let's get into it. So in my eyes, both new and old zombies have redeeming factors, and I will get to both. Right now, both BO6 and old zombies are still fire, with some good custom maps coming for BO3 and new DLC maps for BO6. And I really do like that people are still making custom maps for BO3, because the game is almost 9 years old, which is kind of, it's almost been that long of a time, which is, cool. And with the recent release of Citadel, the argument may grow strong, because BO6 is kind of fun, not gonna lie, but I do think it still lacks some stuff. The class service is still great, it has many ups, but also many downs, and I'm gonna talk about that when I get there. And that's why it can become more hard to define, the better mode, if you want to call it that, because not any of them is perfect. Sorry to have the classic stat here, but that's kind of true. For classic still lacks some stuff. So let's get into it. So I must start with modern zombies. So let's start with modern zombies. The new kid on the block maybe was bullied, but had a glow up. Should he still be bullied? No, not really. Modern zombies still has many new great ideas that works, like no perk limit, the augment system, and in Terminus and Liberty, the loot system. Because stuff like that enhances and give the mode more replayability. And the power to save and quit later is literally revolutionary in my eyes. Because if you have something today if you got something to do on that day, you can just save and quit and come back like on another day, or maybe a couple of hours later, and you can just continue. Because normally on like classic and stuff like that, I wouldn't go to high rounds, because I would just get bored after a while, and I would just not continue. Sorry for my stutter. Maybe I got an issue with that. Maybe I should check that out. But anyway, let's continue. So that thing is really good. But however, the point system kind of removes that replayability that we just talked about, because you spend all of your time and points on one weapon, and if that weapon turns out to be crap and drops off quickly, could you switch weapons, buy a new one? No, absolutely not, because you have to kill the zombies for points, not just shoot them. You cannot change your weapon choice at a higher round, because you may not be able to earn back those points and get that new weapon to a higher rarity and pack punch system, which, higher pack punch, you know what I talk about, which may make you go with the same loadout and the same weapons. But however, meanwhile, in the old point system, you can go to round 20, pack a AR, then go buy a useless SMG just to get points to spin the box until you get a wonder weapon, or buy all the perks, or even just a better weapon. And sure, I love how, when you pack a gun in BO6, many of the guns get a unique ability. Maybe that be explosive, or deals massive crit damage, or just turn it into a shotgun, like that one sniper. And maybe some marksman rifles. I actually tried many weapons. Anyway, it's fun, but it's a dare if you try to go with another weapon and just hoping it does not crap out. It's kind of a risk to take if you want to do that, because if you get a good playthrough, maybe you got all the points to spend anyway. So maybe that's just a personal thing. Maybe this is my next point. My next point is a personal thing. The red system just makes it worse, because that also ruins any way of changing up your guns or any challenge. Literally love doing the toolbox challenge on classic zombies, because it makes it harder and there's a test of skill. And I won't consider myself a great zombies player, but I do like challenging myself. And such a challenge on modern zombies would be impossible, because if you get a bad weapon, that's just useless. But at least if you get a bad weapon on like BO1, maybe you get the Spectre, you can still use it for points to buy perks, which is kind of good. And the thing also that you have to focus on rarity also makes it harder to craft grenades and other stuff to do, especially if you're doing the Easter egg, which could be a hassle if you have to upgrade the rarity on 2 guns, because you have to spend all your scraps, and it kind of, like I said before, it's a really big hassle in my eyes. And on top of that, you have to pack like 3 times, and it gets more and more expensive, and that mixed with the point system just makes it even more of a hassle. But I still enjoy it. I have just been tired because I feel I can't switch up my strats, tactics or weapons, like the same stuff over and over. And I do like the idea of connecting the modes, and I do think it could be well done and well executed, but I do not really care for the BO6 story, but they did make it better in comparison with Cold War, because the Cold War story really didn't have anything super interesting, and the characters were not like super interesting, and maybe the character thing plays a thing here, and the character does not have the same unique personality and funny lines as the classic crews. And I'm not just talking about Primus and Ultimus, I also mean like the 5 crew, the mobsters, even some victors. I do enjoy Marlton's lines from time to time, even though we all know he's a huge nerd. But anyway, let's move on to Class Zombies. We all love it, most of us love it. It's Class Zombies. And it has more ways to get points, have more horror elements, and it's harder and slower paced. Not saying BO6 is not hard, but the rounds fly past, and besides the apparent boss spam, it's not that hard. My issue with classic zombies do stem from it being older in terms of the zombies being sticky per se, and it has less customizability, which is fine in my eyes, but do not like the perk limits, and there's not like any way to bypass it. Maybe on some maps like Call of the Dead and Shangri-La, and even in BO2 you have like Die Rise per se, which if you complete the Easter egg you kind of get a free perkaholic, which is kind of nice. But anyway, it has some great maps like Origins, Bury, The Rise and Drag, Mob Dead, and Class Zombies also has some very bad maps like Die Rise, Transit, even though Transit can be kind of chaotic fun. That's kind of an argument if it is fun or it's just so bad that it is fun. But pack punching on that map is a pain in the ass, so you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's talk about the story. While the complex and sometimes confusing is still great, and even just playing as those characters are fun. And I'm just not talking about Ultimates and Primus, but also the 5 cast, the mobsters, and of course Jackie Fudging V and Scarlet and the gang. You know what I'm talking about? I love Shells People, I just had to mention it. Now, I do think that the gameplay being slow is very annoying sometimes, and especially the pause between rounds, especially when you have like an insta-kill or double points. Because of the tone and story can turn away some people. I sure love it, I love the story. Even though Terminus and Citadel is scary in my eyes, it still does not match the horror of Kino or Verruct in my eyes. Because how the map story in the newer maps, and it takes away the horror of the mystery, And the boss zombie one, the boss zombies on Class Zombies, why not is super annoying like a BO6 because they spam them every fudging round, is still match ending at the beginning, which is very stressful at times, but it's mostly fine. Unlike BO6, round 8 Mangler, one bullet from Explode Sniper, boy he dead, you know what I'm talking about. And I will say, because of the early rounds being hard in BO6, early rounds, it becomes hard to set up, which I understand why some people dislike. And it's simple with little stuff to do on some match, which do really make it boring in my eyes. Like I said before, some maps just make me bored on the high rounds, but in BO6 high rounds, you can do other stuff, like all the small Easter eggs that exist. And one major complaint I have about BO1 specifically is that you can't do every EE on solo, and you have to do it with 3 other friends, which is probably more of a me problem, like I don't have that many friends. But I do have my best friend, and we're just 2 people, so you know what I'm talking about. BO6 does have better and well fleshed out Easter eggs, and all the small ones also play a role in it. There's more to obtain, more to do, more to unlock, while Old Zombies has more ways to play and more interesting challenges you can do. But anyway, let's move on to the last part. Classic Zombies have my nostalgia, but besides that, and looking more objectively has less content, but gives more of an aesthetic look than Modern Zombies, more the aura per se, more identity with its unique HUDs and unique characters. Even the side characters are funny in my eyes. It also has more playstyles and more room for challenges, and it does not become dry fast because of it. but it does lack some content in some areas, and the customizability, which I know many people dislike and others love. BO6 has much more customizability, more fleshed out EEs, not saying that class zombies have just bad EEs, but they are not like fleshed out because it was a new idea at the time. Like I think BO3 has very many good EEs, and even some BO4 have good EEs, like the 9 EE, I really do like that. And the Blood of the Dead is straight AIDS in my eyes. But overall content but lacks aura and identity because of the connecting other modes to drag in new fans of other COD modes, Call of Duty modes like multiplayer and Warzone, and both modes have their fair share of issues, which causes none of them to be perfect. So quiet glazers, I can hear you from over there, sweating your ass in your chair. You know what I'm talking about? I grew up with class zombies, but I still very much enjoy modern zombies. But right now, modern zombies is more dry, because there is less play styles. But we need to give it more room to breathe, and in due time, I'm sure my complete opinion will change. Because it's just been like 2 or 3 months. I mean, it's a couple of maps that's yet to be released and a bunch of weapons, and maybe we will get the classic modes, and I'm sure I will do grind that if it ever releases. I've heard about some stuff that maybe that would happen, but that's out of my control. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my video, be sure to like and subscribe. I do try to make these videos besides story times because I'm kind of running out of those, so I'm not an AI. I won't just make AI story times for you guys. I want to do it for real. I'm a real one, like all of your friends. Maybe not all of them. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, night, or whenever you watch this, because like I said before, I sure have. And so be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!